Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Records and Rants. And Merry Christmas, actually. This is the Christmas special, and we're talking about some exciting stuff today. We're going to do our top 3 Christmas songs, but I can't do it alone. Here to help me with that, as always, is Dixon. How are you?
Ice, great to be here on the Christmas special. Talking about our favorite Christmas songs, because you could overlook Christmas music pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Reality.
I think some people look at it as like, oh, it's been done before. These are classic songs. They've been done a million times. But there's some songs that are in there that haven't been done. And as I found out as like going through this, there's a lot of interesting stories behind some of these songs. Like looking at the songs that I've known about forever, but looking into it, it's very interesting.
Right. No, yeah, absolutely. I because I think too, like even like with the ones you've heard 55,000 times, there's a couple versions. People have different versions of that. Maybe like, oh, this is actually better than that one, or I really like what they did with this one.
Oh,
I think
100%.
that's what. Yes. It was. That's what kind of reflects my list. So, to talk shop.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, you suggested, hey, why don't we get our top 3 favorite Christmas songs? You and I, and break down the songs. And I'll tell you what, sounds easy, but a pretty difficult feat, I think, when you narrow it down to 3, which I think was perfect. I think it was a great assignment.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was like, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's pick our top 3. And by the way, we don't know what each other's are, which I think is fun. We might have ones that are the same. My number 1 might be your number 2 or number 1, whatever. But we don't know. We don't know each other's songs. But yeah, right. You're back to what you were saying. It was really difficult because I started putting a bunch of them on a playlist, right? And I'm like, there's a lot of songs on here. I think I had like 30 or 40 songs. Like when I went through, I just started going through. I'm like, okay, I know this one. I'm adding them all. I'm going through playlists. I'm looking at lists online. I'm going through all of them. Stuff I heard on the radio, I added it, and I'm like, there's a lot here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you say that because you made a playlist. And when I thought, you know what, this show is called Records and Rants, featuring Ice and Dixon. I'm going to go back to my record collection. I have a little bit of I have my records tabulated with some random stuff. There's things I bought that I haven't taken out of the bag from the record store we go to. And I started looking through some of the Christmas stuff, and it was kind of disorganized.
Okay.
So I said to myself, I have to make a spreadsheet, a list, particularly when it comes to my Beach Boys and Brian Wilson vinyl, of what I have, what I don't have, because I end up going on eBay. I'm like, oh, I should get this, but I don't know if I have it, or I definitely have it and I don't have it, right? So I pulled out. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you have to have a pretty large collection.
I didn't realize it until I sat down and started looking at everything. So I pulled out some of my Christmas vinyl. Turns out, in the Christmas vinyl that I was unaware that I even had, was the vinyl LP version, the 12-inch LP version of Brian Wilson's Christmas album from 2005, right?
Okay.
It turns out, and I was just looking at a copy last week, turns out this is one of the rarest releases of his career, particularly in the early 2000s.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yes, there's a copy on eBay right now for $345.
What?
And I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll get some Christmas money. Like I need to have a complete collection. Like maybe I'll get this. And sure enough, I have it down there, sealed.
Wow.
And I was completely amazed. And I also pulled out a John Denver and the Muppets picture disc that I had no idea even existed. I don't even know if it's worth anything, but it's like, oh my God, this is so cool.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So really, talk about a Christmas miracle if you ever heard one.
Oh my God,
and
that's fantastic. That's something else. So not only did you find something that you didn't even think you had, it just turns out to be the rarest one of the rarest releases ever. That's something else.
Yeah, that's the thing is I thought that might be the rarest release of my collection when it comes to Beach Boy stuff, because I thought for a while I have a 7-inch. It was the Laughing Gravy. It's a cover of Vegetables. And the Laughing Gravy is just Jan and Dean going by the name Laughing Gravy. And they only did one release as Laughing Gravy. And I thought that was pretty rare. But I think this has eclipsed the rarest piece of my collection. So, hey, Merry Christmas to all you out there. Thanks for being here with us. We discovered this. It's incredible.
Yeah, this is awesome. Well, it really is a Christmas miracle. I mean, we could probably do your collection sounds vast. I'm just saying it sounds pretty large. We could probably do several episodes just going through all of your discography that you have. I can't even imagine.
It might be a really good idea because, like I said, I'm kind of discovering stuff, and it's probably my fault for not storing them as well as I should be. But now I know I've committed. One of the goals of 2023 is to make a comprehensive spreadsheet of the things I have, and hopefully we won't avoid these problems going forward.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Get like the drop down list going, sort by artist, sort by date release. Oh, I love it. That's perfect.
Yes, I might need your help because I understand that you're kind of the Excel expert around here.
Oh, I love Excel.
Really.
Oh yeah, I love it. That's a very
No kidding.
neurodivergent thing, but I am very into Excel. Look at
That's cool.
Who likes Excel? Who enjoys Excel?
Yeah.
I just find every time, like even at work, if I'm like organizing things that I'm doing, I have everything that I've ever done in a spreadsheet.
Really? Okay.
All my deadlines, the time to completion that I needed to do, like just all things like that. So yeah, I'm pretty into it. But yeah, no, I think that'd be a cool idea if you just made a comprehensive list of everything you had. Speaking of Brian Wilson, I still have to give you that record that I bought for you.
Yes. Well, it's the Christmas season. We're hoping to collaborate in person in the next few days, few weeks, whatever you want to say. Also found something you might like, Ice. I have the Tron Translucence music by Daft Punk.
I was just going to say that was composed by Daft Punk, yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 versions. There's one that's like a light blue version, an orange version, and a yellow. They're 10-inch.
Oh my God.
Walt Disney Records.
No way.
I don't even know why I have these, but I do.
It's really I can't even imagine stuff that you don't even know that you have that you find. That's incredible. I have like maybe 20 discs, maybe 20 records or something, vinyls, but that's my collection's just starting, you know.
You know what? You have to start somewhere, and I'm glad that you're part of this. And we're also glad you're part of this. Welcome to the Christmas special. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So now I have to say this before we get into our list, our top threes. I fear, and I had an idea that this was going to happen. The ones that I picked are probably more mainstream, I would say. Well, one isn't really mainstream. One that I have, I actually asked my fiance, and she says she's never heard of it. So, and she likes the mainstream stuff. So I think that one, which is my favorite, I don't think a lot of people are going to know it, but the other two are definitely mainstream. A lot of people have heard these, but I have some things to say about them, so we'll keep it interesting. But would you say that your list is not as mainstream? Have people heard these songs?
Yes, I think this is a mainstream list, and you know it's a tough thing for me because this is another thing when I talk about like the greatest of all time, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I try to be objective as I possibly can. So here's like a good example. If somebody asked me subjectively, who's the greatest band of all time, I'd say the Beach Boys. Mm-hmm. But the objective person in my mind is going to say, okay, it has to be the Rolling Stones for a few because of a few different factors we can point to, right?
Yeah.
So when I made my list of Christmas songs, I went like, okay, what does Christmas music mean to me? It's like, you know what, you're sitting there by the fire, or maybe it's on the radio and you're driving around with your mom and your dad, or looking at lights, or you're running to your mall with your dad on Christmas Eve to get something for your mom. You know, all those kind of like little memories that you have growing up that maybe these songs were a part of. And that's kind of where I went with this. Now I cheated a little bit because I have some ties. I have some songs that tied. But maybe
you actually brought in 8 songs.
Yeah, maybe they're more honorable mentions than anything. But songs I wanted to mention that I thought if we were expanding our 3 could be included on that.
Okay, understand. You know what? I have to admit too, because I kind of cheated as well, because I brought in a 4th that has some. Well, I could say a lot of controversy, and I didn't know it about this song. But I think I'm going to hit on that one last after I get my top. It'll be like at the end. I kind of want to talk about it. It's a little interesting. But do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? How do you want to do this?
Sure.
I'm going to say I'm going to work up to my number 1. I'm going to start with my number 3. I don't know if you ordered yours. It doesn't matter. But
yeah, I did because I think for the top 3 I have an order. Now, the songs. This is the songs I gave an honorable mention to.
Okay.
Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses. One of the Waitresses, one of the great new wave, new punk bands of New York, of that CBGB era. Christmas Wrapping. I'm just
gonna say, I'm really glad you said that, because we're definitely gonna get into that one.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just like a fun song. I like listening to it. I don't know. It just kind of cool to me, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know if this should be included, and I think you're gonna have people out there gonna say, this is on the list. It's like, I don't even know if it's really even like a Christmas song,
Okay.
but Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues.
Okay. I
They say good.
no, I was just gonna say I don't know if I'm familiar with that one.
You've definitely heard. That's the one they say. You know, she says, "You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap,
Oh,
lousy
yes.
f person."
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
It was Christmassy. Yeah, like, it's like sounds like yeah, like
Yeah. I know what
so
you're talking about. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So like I put that out there just because to me it's like it goes. I'll just say this. It goes along with my other honorable mention that's kind of on the same plane, but River
Okay.
by Joni Mitchell, which is I wish I had a river I could skate away on.
Yeah.
Once again, not know if there's a Christmas song per se, but it's a vibe, it's a feeling. It's maybe Christmas isn't always that great all the time,
Yeah.
or maybe you're
Yeah.
having a kind of a bummer. So those songs to me kind of sum that up.
Okay.
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Frank Sinatra. We've heard it.
Oh.
It's been there, done that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But I think it's
That.
one of those songs that just you have the fireplace on, you're sitting there with your family. That just encapsulate that memory, right?
Oh my God. Absolutely. 100%.
Last
Yeah.
honorable mention, then I'll actually get into the list.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Really working up to it.
Did you have something to say about that one?
No, I was just gonna say, like,
Yeah.
touching into nostalgia, that song really hits for
Yeah.
me. I'm almost disappointed that I didn't pick any classic Christmas songs. I really didn't. But
Okay.
that one,
Okay.
if I had to pick one, it would be
Yeah.
that one. Absolutely.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I think it's one of those songs that deserve that. And then I had to put this in there because I mean it is what it is. Mary Did You Know, Kenny Rogers duet.
Oh, yes, that's fantastic. Yeah, that
Yeah,
hits
I
that
think
hits you.
yeah, it hits you. I think it just hits you. The vocals, the summary, to me it's a Christmas song that you're not going to hear all the time, and I think when you hear it, it's kind of like a little bit of a special moment.
Yes.
All right, so here's the top three. Starting at number three.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hear your number three here.
So, "Man with All the Toys" by the Beach Boys.
I knew Beach Boys was gonna be in here.
So I didn't go for the Little Saint Nick, that sellout Little Saint Nick. This is a deep cut on the Beach Boys Christmas discography. There's actually a whole bunch of Christmas bootlegs with the Beach Boys stuff on it too. They actually had a huge Christmas catalog. But
Really?
"Man with All the Toys" purely because I remember my father telling me a story about a man who landed a plane up in the North Pole, and he saw Santa's workshop, he saw the elves, and he came back and told everybody, and nobody believed him. Well, it turns out that was the song he was just telling me. That story. That's the premise of this song.
That's fantastic.
But really good beat. It has that classic Beach Boys guitar, the vocal harmonies from those early '60s. Not a huge, not really on the radio, but to me, it's just a kind of a good memory thing for me when it comes to that song.
Yeah, so that's like a more nostalgia thing for you. And like you said,
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider this one like a mainstream song because you don't
No.
hear this on the
No.
radio. Yeah.
Right.
So
It was-
so for
yeah.
you it was just more nostalgia, really.
More nostalgia factor. I like the song. I think it eclipses Little Saint Nick a little bit.
Hmm.
I think she and him covered it on their Christmas album, or one of their Christmas albums. So that's probably why. After we just talked about she and him, so.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
So, yeah. So number two, and I struggle with this 1 and 2. And I think you could put either one of these in 1 or 2.
Okay.
Number 2 for me is the Nat King Cole version of the Christmas song.
Okay.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Mhm.
Jack Frost, and with the orchestra behind him. And to me, he says, you'll find it hard to sleep tonight when you're waiting on Santa Claus. To me, you just picture, I don't know, that 1940s, 1950s downtown Christmas where there's snow coming down and the lights and there's trees. And, it's just, I think it takes you back to a simpler time, a stripped down time of Christmas. And even though it's about Christmas as a holiday, about giving gifts and, that kind of thing, and Santa Claus, still just a pure kind of view into people's Christmas and how they celebrate and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It really hits the old heartstrings when I hear this song.
No, I totally agree because when you listen to a song like this, it's like it does elicit that simpler time because everything now is it's very how could I say everything's commercialized now. Everything's
Right,
like
right,
okay, oh let's run to Walmart, run to Target. But the
right.
Christmas song really just takes you back, like you said, to a simpler time. I mean, this was written in 1945 and then was recorded by uh, Nat Cole in 1946. So I mean, this was written
Wow.
at a time when
Yeah.
it was simpler and
Yes.
like you said, they have that small string section in there and everything. It's definitely like sitting by the fire kind of song. It makes you warm inside, I guess is what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right. 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 Here's a spoiler alert. I'm going back to the songs I mentioned that aren't really about Christmas, but I think they're Christmas songs.
Okay.
Dan Fogelberg, Auld Lang Syne, Met my old
Oh
lover in the
yeah.
grocery store. The snow
Mm.
was falling Christmas Eve. That song to me is one of those. It's like an updated, like a 1980s or 90s version of the Christmas song,
Mm-hmm.
where things are a little bit more commercial. You're looking for a bar on Christmas Eve. You ran into the girl you went to high school with. That just kind of like it's still a simpler thing, stripped down, but still, just an updated version of that. That's my take on it.
Yes, yes.
All right, so my number one,
Okay, let's hear it.
and I think this is going to be called cliched in some circles
Oh
because
boy.
this has appeared on lists of greatest Christmas songs of all time. But objectively, I think this is the greatest Christmas song of all time.
Okay.
Christmas (parentheses) Baby Please Come Home, Darlene Love.
Wow.
To me, this is the ultimate Christmas song. It was on the album Phil Spector Wishes You a Merry Christmas, or Merry Christmas from Phil Spector.
Mm-hmm.
Came out, it was released on the day that Kennedy was shot. So it never received any commercial notice or success or anything. So Phil Spector, a one-time influencer of Brian Wilson, and then became a contemporary. And then Wilson, I think, eclipsed him in his production capacity. Took all of the bands that he worked with and recorded a Christmas album. So this to me is, the snow's falling down. I'm watching it fall.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people around. Ice, please come home. That's like it just, that's what it just to me is like, okay, when Christmas could just be a bummer, and it
Yeah.
could be also the amount of love you have for somebody. And the fact that, Christmas might make us do some crazy things. You might text your ex, you might come in on Thanksgiving Eve and your ex girlfriend is looking pretty good in the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at your hometown bar. It's
Yeah.
it's things like that. But like you said, it
Yeah.
encompasses that not everything can be good on Christmas.
Yeah.
And like
Right.
you said,
Right.
it
Exactly.
makes you crazy things. Now, I know Mariah Carey did this song as well. Do you have any
Yes.
comments on that one? Like, do you think it's? I'm assuming you think what you mentioned is better than Mariah Carey's version.
Oh my God, Darlene Love! You could just hear whether this was obviously manufactured.
Mm-hmm.
You could just hear the desperation, the longing, the want in her voice. That's what makes it so
Yeah.
great. Her vocals, her just the idea that you think like, okay, really like she's really missing the guy or whomever that you really wanted to be back for Christmas.
Yeah.
I think when it was written, probably not. It's obviously not a cliche Christmas song. It was obviously
No.
a different take on things. The Mariah Carey version, I have nothing to say about it at all.
Wow. Okay.
I have nothing
Wow.
to say about the U2 version. They are very nice homages, but Mariah Carey, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I have, and I'm not one of these guys that says, "Oh, I don't want to hear. All I want for Christmas is you." I really don't care. You can play it for me all day long. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
do a thing for me. Couldn't care less. Overrated, but nonetheless, that's where we are.
You know what? This is a bombshell,
Yeah.
but I absolutely agree with you. I think
Yeah.
that I don't know why that it's become like a meme. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's like thawing out for Christmas, and like all I want for Christmas is gonna play. That song doesn't do it for me.
Right.
The songs you mentioned do it for me, especially the Christmas song. That's probably like my favorite out of all the ones you picked. But I mean,
Good,
I'm proud
good.
to say myself that there's going to be no Mariah Carey on either of our lists. I'm
Yes.
very, very no Michael Bublé either. There's none of that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's true.
yeah, I'm over that. Now my picks might be a little different, but yeah, I think that's a solid list you got there. I really do.
Okay. Good. Yeah. No, I'm happy to hear that. I think, and now you got me thinking. If objectively, if you have to put Mariah Carey in a conversation like this, purely for the impact that her song has had,
I
You know?
think, I think, I think you do. Okay, now let me ask you this. We could section this off as like a little Mariah Carey aside here, as a little
Right.
segue into my stuff. But
Right.
do you think that Mariah Carey popularized, at least with like the younger generation, Christmas music?
Yeah, I think that's a song they look forward to. Now, there's been a couple times when I've been in uh like bars, and they'll
Hmm.
play that song in bars like months in advance, and it's usually like younger people playing it, and I think it's like they have this connection to it, and it's like it's almost like becoming like I don't know one of those Christmas specials that we kind of grew up with. That's like becoming kind of their thing, maybe this
That
younger crew, you know?
that's a really good way to put it. I honestly
Yeah,
think you're right. When did she even release that?
it
Um,
had to be late '90s because she was in pretty good shape. I mean,
yeah.
pretty decent shape from what I can remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably in the 90s. Oh yeah, 1994.
Wow, there you go. Wow,
Yeah, how about that? That's pretty
amazing.
interesting. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think this is like probably going to be one of the classic songs. Like people, the Gen Z, this is probably going to be a classic Christmas song for them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's pretty interesting how things evolved.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean Mariah Carey. I mean she has a cartoon. I don't even know if she's involved with it, but there's a cartoon about like a childlike version of Mariah Carey wanting a dog, and that was like I watched it the other day. It was like actually pretty good.
Hmm.
So like I'm not one of these guys like oh Mariah Carey is done, you know, all this kind of stuff. But like I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me, like you said. All right,
But
I'm excited to hear this.
okay, now here we go. And I'm going to start off. And you mentioned this as one of your honorable mentions. I'm so glad that you did because I find that
Okay,
people either find this song, they either love it or they find it very annoying.
okay, right.
And that is Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses.
Classic. Glad to hear it.
Now, I absolutely love this song. I love the beat of the song. It's up tempo. The horns in the
Uh huh.
song, the
Oh
horn
yes,
production is fantastic. It just I was
I
listening to it
love
on
it.
the way home from work today. I'm like, man, this song just hits. It just like this
It
is
slaps.
it does. It slaps, as the kids say.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't care. You could call it a guilty pleasure for me, but it puts me in the Christmas mood. And
Yes.
when I was younger, I didn't really listen to the lyrics, but this song is all about a girl who's like she's too busy. She doesn't want to be part of the holiday thing. She's like running around. She's going crazy, and then at the end, it all works out because she meets the guy that she was trying to get with, and then they meet up at a grocery store, and
Right.
then and then as the song goes, everything it was a very happy Christmas that year. But
Right.
I love it. And did you know that the name Christmas Wrapping is because she kind of rapped the song and she thought it was a fun pun to put in there. That's why they
Oh, okay. No, I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, this is when like hip hop was becoming popular, apparently. So, um, but
Really?
yeah. So that's why they did that. It wasn't written by her though.
Okay.
It was produced by Chris Butler.
Chris
But
Butler. Who the hell
yeah,
is
but
this guy?
I don't know. I'm not really sure like what else he produced. Apparently in the 80s and 90s, like he was pretty big.
Okay.
Let's see, bands that involved Chris Butler: Tin Huey, The Waitresses, The Cranks, Half
Oh,
Cleveland,
okay.
Richard
Okay.
Lloyd. Yeah, so he's got a few songs under his belt here, but yeah. I mean, regardless, like I think that they do like a great job on the vocals. Patty Donahue sang the song. I think
Uh-huh.
it's fantastic. And
Yeah, I like it. I
there's a
like it
single
too.
version and an album version and there's a 1 minute difference
Right.
between them. Yeah.
Right. I remember there was a longer version, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it adds an extra
Gotcha.
verse in. But yeah, I love it. I think it was like slightly ahead of its time. I think it's just a fun song for Christmas, and it just reminds me of songs that I listened to like as a kid.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you. I agree with you 100% on that.
Okay, so there's that one. Now, and I hate to say that I even like this song.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I really do, and that is because of who is involved with it.
Okay.
And also the titling kind of makes me angry too. But
Okay.
it's Happy Xmas, War is Over.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Really?
I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh
really
my
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
goodness. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh
said
my
it.
gosh. This is a bombshell.
Uh,
I can't even realize that. Oh my gosh.
I the way that it's put together, the vocals, the how it's always constantly building up and then it pays off. Like I just love how it's put together. And I hate to say it because you know why? Because Yoko Ono is involved with this song.
Yes. Now I think you're 100% spot on.
Yeah.
With your assessment, and it's got to be mentioned when it comes to if we're going to do a comprehensive list of the greatest Christmas songs of all time. It's got to be mentioned.
Yeah, you have to talk about it. You know, it has to be in there.
Yeah.
But I looking into this, I'm like, oh my god, like Yoko Ono, I can't. I just that, and I don't even follow the Beatles that much. I never did, but just knowing what she did. Do you know after John Lennon had died, she immediately got with one of his like assistants afterwards? Did you know that?
I had no idea. No.
Yeah. And John actually said, I think it was like in an interview or something, that John said, "Oh yeah, I know Yoko, like, you know, he always had like a thing for her or something," or someone had mentioned that, or for him, for this guy. He was like an artist or something. He was like a friend or an assistant, but they were all close. And then when he passed away, she immediately got with this guy.
Okay.
Which is really messed up if you think about it.
That is so messed up. It's beyond. It's beyond. I mean, I can't even imagine that.
Just add it to another reason that Yoko Ono should be hated, and she sucks.
Yeah, she sucks. Yeah, she sucks so bad.
Oh,
and it's funny because the Beatles were my first love, like growing up. Like I was obsessed with the Beatles when I was growing up. Like 1994, 95. Like I think that's when the anthology came out, and my dad had recorded it on VHS, and I watched that thing like 16 and like all over and over again. Like,
oh yeah.
And you find out about John Lennon was had some good stuff to say, and like really stood up for the right things, but I don't think he was that good of a guy, from what I understand. And then you have him combined with Yoko.
Yeah.
And Yoko is just absolutely is just a pariah of the world, just unbelievable.
Oh,
so
God.
I mean, but you're absolutely. I'm glad you include that because that shows how we think musically and otherwise.
Yes.
And what can be appreciated. You know?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, even though I hate the artist, I could appreciate the music, and I mean, like I said, it's a shame that she was involved with this. Now, I could go further and say Miley Cyrus did a great cover of the song, because she did. Have you ever heard of her version? I don't know. I don't know if they're doing auto tune or anything, but when Miley did the cover of the song, she got the pipes for it. I mean, I think she did a really good job. So I guess I could put that in, but just hearing the classic version, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I'm at an impasse. If Yoko wasn't involved in the original, I would say I like the original better. Like, it's literally just her getting in the way, I guess. But yeah, so that's my number 2.
Good. That was a good point. Really well broken down.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, and that was like I said, it's pretty good.
Now here is my last one, and I don't know if a lot of people know about this song. Now, let me just preface with this. Okay. I never heard the song on the radio. It might be played, it might not be. I'm not entirely sure. But someone told me about this song, told me to listen to it. I'm not sure if it was you. Someone told me to listen to it.
Okay.
It might have been one of my brother's friends, but the song is "Driving Home for Christmas" by Chris Rea. I think his name is Chris Rea. His last name is Rea. But regardless, that is my probably number 1 favorite Christmas song. Have you heard this song?
I've never heard of it. Yeah, it wasn't me because I haven't heard of it.
So the song it's very simple. It's got a nice little Christmas tune in the background, nice piano.
Right.
It is just, and it's about this guy. Super simple. It's about a guy who's just driving home for Christmas. That's all he's doing, going to see his family. I'm gonna put my feet on that holy land. Oh my God, it is.
Wow, that sounds great.
Oh, it's so good. And then at the end he says, "I look at the guy in the car next to me. He's just like me." It's just like saying we're all traveling home to go see our family for the holiday. It is just like his voice is like raspy, and it's Dixon. I'm telling you right now, if you get a chance after the show, please listen to this song. It gives me nostalgia because I hadn't heard this probably until like a year or two ago, but it still makes me feel nostalgia for back in that time. What we talked about in the beginning is when we went to our family's house. Our parents are driving us around. We're just looking outside. It's snowing. All the lights are up and everything. Listening to this song puts me back in that back car seat, getting driven around on Christmas.
Very good.
It's fantastic. It really is. And
I like that a lot.
I strongly encourage anyone who's listening to this, please go listen to that song right now because it's great. I think I'm going to put links to all of our top songs in here, so people
Yeah,
can
throw a
listen
link
to
in
them.
there.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Yeah, because I want to check that out. That sounds great. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
really yeah.
It's really good. I don't want to get the hopes up too high. I think it's just how it makes me feel. It's really a song that I enjoy because how it makes me feel. It's not the production, even though the production's good.
Right.
It's just a simple song about a guy how he wants to get home for Christmas, and that's it. And he's driving in his car, and that's it. It's great.
I like that a lot. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, really good. So
very good.
Everyone listen to that. And my last song that I wanted to talk about this. Everyone has heard this song. I know everyone's heard it,
Okay.
but I looked into it and it was very interesting.
Okay.
This is my top song. I would say this is a runner up to my top 3. Okay. Do They Know It's Christmas Time?
Oh,
Feed
yes.
the World by Band-Aid.
Yes.
Now, do you know anything about this song, about its production? Because I didn't know about it until I looked into it.
Was it part of the Live Aid thing, like the We Are the World, but this was like an updated version?
So this was written back in the 80s.
Right. Okay.
And it was originally written for the famine in Ethiopia. And Band-Aid isn't a live thing. It was a super group, quote unquote, assembled by the people who made this song of popular British musical acts at the time.
Oh, so it was all British.
All British. It was a big UK thing, and
UK thing.
Yeah.
No, so that's okay. So yeah, I had no idea. That's great.
But okay. The funny thing about the song is the song is they say, do they even know it's Christmas over there? There's no snow falling in Africa, like all this stuff. And it's like
right.
And as it evolved, it turned into a thing that people criticized because they said even Africa themselves, Ethiopia themselves, they made fun of this song because the lyrics could be, I guess, interpreted as offensive. And they say, like, who are you to say, do we even know it's Christmas? Of course we know it's Christmas over here. Like, because we're African, we don't know. Like, because there's no snow here. Like, all this stuff came out. And one of the funniest things, and I'll read this quote right here.
Okay.
The band Chumbawamba had something to say about it.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, so originally on Do They Know It's Christmas, the album art, it has like a classic like Christmas drawing of like a white family.
Right.
And then at the very bottom superimposed is 2 Ethiopian children who are starving.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real picture. Okay. So Chumbawamba came out and criticized them and released an album called Pictures of Starving Children Sell Records.
Oh my god. Chumbawamba, who would have thought? Are they like a one-hit wonder?
Yeah, no, exactly. But
awesome.
but they argue that the record was primarily a cosmetic spectacle designed to draw attention away from the real political causes of world hunger. So they pretty much said that these guys, Band-Aid, they created this group just to make money, and that they didn't really donate any money. It was just a big ploy just to get people to buy their album. And then another person, this guy said, I'm sorry, this is still Chumbawamba. They said, I'm not afraid to say that I think Band-Aid was diabolical or that I think Bob Geldof, the guy who made the song, is a nauseating character. Many people find him very unsettling.
Oh my gosh.
It was the most, and this is how he ends it, it was the most self-righteous platform ever in the history of popular music.
Wow.
So I just found that interesting because
let it fly.
I know he really let it out, but I just find it so interesting because when I looked, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this song. It might be one of my top. I don't know. It turned out not to be, but when I looked into it, I'm like, wow, this song has like a lot of history behind it, and I don't know.
For sure.
I thought it was pretty funny. So
it's hilarious.
So yeah, I decided to add that one in there just because of the history about it. And I will say, I do like that song.
Me too. I like it song. I like the song too.
The guys, it's funny because the guy who produced it said, I created the worst song in the world, and it's called Do They Know It's Christmas. So this guy admits, the guy that made the actual song even admits, and he said it wasn't about the music, it wasn't about the composition of the song, it was just about generating money to help the cause. Geez. That's what he says. But I mean, we don't know. I couldn't find any statistics on how much money they gave these people, but
That's
That's
always a great thing is when they have like these charity things. It's like, well, how much
mhm.
they donate? Oh, like
uh,
$1. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's just
yeah. It's
yeah,
like, it's like, oh,
yeah.
well, we have to pay the artist first, and then we have to pay the production costs, and then all this stuff. So like, you never really know how much money's going. I mean, are these people
Yeah.
really philanthropists, or are they just like just
Do they
trying to
know it's
make a
Christmas
buck?
time?
Yeah, yeah. Do they even know it's Christmas
Yeah.
time? Oh my god, I'm so sick of these people. But but yeah, so they,
I
yeah,
like it.
that's my top three. I think we had a pretty solid picks, I would say.
No, definitely solid because I really appreciate the insight on that because that's a huge song. I think everybody knows that song.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
and I don't think anyone knew like the controversy behind it.
No, I had no idea. I didn't
Yeah,
know that. You know,
no, it was
but
yeah, pretty
it's
interesting.
you could tell it's like one of those like just like a cop out thing. And I remember like
Yeah,
they had that "We Are the World" thing with Springsteen and everybody involved. It just seemed like it was just like a pander thing almost. You know what I mean? Like I don't
yes,
know. Like I didn't buy into it.
yeah. No, we are the world. It's like a play on this song, right?
It is. I don't know what it's for. But I mean, I have no idea what. I think that might be like a Live Aid thing. I don't know.
Okay, okay,
But I never really heard. Like I don't think I've ever heard the song all the way through.
okay.
And but it was like it's like I said, they had all this star power. It wasn't only British; it was a lot of
Yes.
other people because Springsteen was on it and stuff. And I just sent you the video, a clip of they zoomed in on Bob Dylan during the recording,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no,
and
I
he's
remember that. That was great. He's like, "Why
and
am
he's
I here?"
yeah, barely even just alive, like he's probably high off his rocker on heroin, and just like, oh my god, this is what a mistake this is.
Oh my god,
But
that's so funny.
like I said, just like these pander jobs, you wonder what the hell they even do with this cash and stuff like that. Like I don't know.
I know. So I just found this really quick. The guy that made "Do They Know
Yeah.
It's Christmas" Feed the World. He hoped that it
Uh,
would raise £70,000 for Ethiopia.
okay.
It raised
Right.
8 million. It was a very popular song.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I can
I
imagine.
don't. People didn't, and they made a lot of remakes of it. People really didn't start talking about it, I guess, until like later in the '90s that it was like a cash grab kind of thing.
I got you. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Interesting stuff. Huh.
Yeah, they don't say how much that money goes directly to Ethiopia, but we don't know. We don't know.
People are saying, but we don't know. We have
Yeah,
no clue. Oh my
no
gosh, that's
idea.
great.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what are you gonna do?
what can you do? I guess Now let me ask you this. Now, if the real question be is like, okay, if I record, do they know it's Christmas? Or every time they replay, do they know it's Christmas?
Hmm.
Somebody's getting a royalty payment somewhere. Does that go to the fund that they set up or whatever?
See, that's the thing. I would say I highly doubt it. But
Yeah,
I think
no, I think so too.
I think the fact that they got a lot of flack for this, I would say probably not. I should have looked a little more into like where the money flow is going, but
Right.
I'm honestly not entirely sure. And like I said, yeah, it raised £8 million, but like, did all that money actually go to help feeding children in Ethiopia? I don't know. I couldn't say one
You
way or
might
the
have
other.
just broken out this scandal for the first time ever.
I know, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, this could be, maybe someone look into it. I'm not sure.
This might be worthwhile. Somebody checking out. Everybody, check out Bob Geldof and "We Are the World" band or whatever the hell it is, and where this money's going
Yeah, please, for
and
love
what
of
they do
God.
with it. Yeah,
Yeah, because like you said, like, this song gets played constantly. Someone's getting a royalty check for it.
you would think so, right?
I would say it's getting pocketed, but I don't know. I doubt it's still going to Ethiopia. Is all I'm saying.
Isn't
I
it
doubt that.
isn't it what the hell is that guy's name? Not Curious George. Uh, Culture Club, the guy from Culture Club.
Oh,
Oh
I
shoot,
don't know.
what the heck is his name? Stand by 1 second. Driving me nuts. Is it Boy George? Yes, Boy George. Yes, who
Mhm.
has passed away. No, he's still alive. He was the kind of guy, the androgynous lead member of Culture Club. They had some hits in the '80s. I think he's one of the lead vocalists on the song, so he's got to be getting some cash from this at some point.
Really?
Yeah,
Someone's getting money, you know?
somebody's getting cash, and I really don't like how this whole thing smells, especially at Christmas time. And then you have to
Yeah.
wonder, do they know it's Christmas time?
Yeah. Oh, you always have to wonder.
Live right here, right now, you just heard
That's right.
a scandal brewing with this organization where their funds are going.
Oh my god,
Unbelievable. Yeah.
this is fantastic. Yeah, no, this guy has a lot of enemies. Just looking at all the
Sounds like it.
controversies, like it's pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna look more into this. This might be like I might have to drop something. Maybe this might be my big episode because I'm finding a lot of stuff on this.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
This would be good. This would be good thing to break down.
poor Bob Geldof. I don't know if anyone even knows who that is. I doubt that SEO would perform very well.
Bob Geldof said what?
Bob Geldof does what?
3 views in somewhere in London.
Yeah. Probably him. He's just searching his own name.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
Oh, what are people saying
great.
about me now? Like that's probably.
That's great. Oh man, I love it.
Mm,
Well, that's cool.
stuff.
I mean, so if you ever, and that's the other thing too. Speaking of Christmas songs, if you feel like you want to experience a new perspective of Christmas music, you could. Bob Dylan has a Christmas album, "Christmas in the Heart."
That's probably very
And
interesting.
It is interesting because it's his 2000s real gravelly, grizzly voice.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
probably
and
goes
there's
well
a
with
song.
Christmas music.
There's a song on there, "Must Be Santa," which he released a video for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I sent it to you. Maybe I did. But in the video, he has like a shoulder length wig on.
Oh yeah, yes, I did see this.
He's in the video like bopping around and walking around. It's like you said, it just gives you more idea. Like Bob Dylan is just trolling every single one of us all the time. He's actually like either a big goof or a normal guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm watching this right now. It's like, what is happening here? Why is he?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Unbelievable.
It is. He's an interesting character.
Well, I'm glad we definitely broke them down in the last few episodes. And check out those videos. Got a lot of new subscribers. Glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and a Merry Christmas to everyone as well. We really appreciate you guys.
Merry Christmas. I think we'll probably, hopefully, ideally, we'll have one more episode before the new year, and we could kind of maybe take a look back.
Yeah.
It's been about what? It's been about a year and like 2 months since we started the show.
Yeah, it has been. Wow, it's been a while.
Yeah, I feel like we'd start right before Thanksgiving last year, 2021.
I think we did. Time flies.
And,
time flies, man.
Time flies when you're having fun, especially when we've evolved. We've tried new things. We've taken things out. We've put things in. So we're excited to see how this goes in its current format.
Yeah, really dialed it in.
Yes, dialed it in. And thank with your constant monitoring and technical skills and bringing it all together. Really appreciate you at this time of year, especially.
Oh, I appreciate you as well, of course.
Well, good. Well, sounds good.
So Merry Christmas to you and yours, guys. Thanks for watching. We hope that you like these songs as well. And like I said, they're all going to be in the description if you want to listen to them while you're listening to us. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Peace.